I need to get groceries, fold the laundry, help with homework, pack lunches, wash the dishes, clean the kitchen, answer emails, prep for tomorrow, schedule the doctor's appointment, pay the bills, fix the leaky faucet, plan dinner and set the table. I need time for myself.
Sure thing.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're tapping into on this beautiful spring day. Welcome inside Romania as CSO Voluntari, last year's champions, take on Slovan Bratislava in a big-time first-round European Northern Basketball League playoff matchup. Well, my name is Drew Lasker, and I will be taking you through the ones and twos in every single dribble this evening. We have a rematch of last year's semifinals where CSO Voluntari ultimately took care of business in a big-time matchup, punching their tickets to the finals where they met the Newcastle Eagles and ultimately captured their first ENBL gold medal. On the other side, enter Bratislava, rebrand, now known as Slovan Bratislava, became the first ENBL team in history to post 10 consecutive victories in a season, eventually finishing fourth at last year's Final Four. Again, these teams only met once in their history, where ultimately Voluntari took care of business 107-103 on April 8th. At the iconic Go Pass Arena in Slovakia. But today, the tables are turned as CSO Voluntari presents themselves as the home team after going 7-1 in Pool 1. Taking care of business throughout the season, booking that number 3 seed. On the other side of things, Bratislava, big mixed results this season in pool number 2, 4-4. Ultimately finishing at 13. But all of that is out the window. It's win or go home. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in game number 2. We got a triple header coming at you today later on. Manchester hosting Zagreb, and also Groningen hosting Opava. But make sure you come back and join us tomorrow night. We got a doubleheader on the menu as well. I'll be locked into that 10-stall versus Riga Zeli, making my way over to Iceland. But tonight it's all about this matchup right here, which I promise you will be juicy. Take some time, get yourselves in the comments, drop a flag, let us know what part of the world you're representing, tuning into today. The growth of this league has been incredible. Only 18 teams last season, but has expanded to 27 as the home team gets announced this year. It was broken into 3 pools, 9 teams in each pool, where it was a round robin of 8 total games, where ultimately 16 teams booked their ticket to the 2026 ENBL playoffs. This competition moves fast and thick. The winner of this game will take on tomorrow's matchup, Tinstal versus Riga Zeli. The quarterfinals will be held March 17th through April 2nd, and then that will answer a lot of questions. Will take us to the Final Four on the weekend of April 21st through 23rd. Location to be determined. Teams getting announced. Make sure you grab you some popcorn and a nice cold, hot beverage, because this one here is going to be an incredible matchup. You see it right there, both teams, as we enter the final 5 minutes. There go your referees for tonight. Kruvtree, Pierre Gilis from Belgium, Serban Rasago from Romania, and Edward Urin from Slovakia. And of course, Oskars Lucis on the 1s and 2s will be at the video here today. That is your crew, representing 3 countries in a competition that is so versatile, representing all over the world. This playoff of 16 teams representing 13 countries: Germany, Greece, Romania, Croatia, the United Kingdom, Iceland, Poland, Netherlands, Czech Republic, Latvia, Kosovo, Slovakia, and Estonia. 11 of those teams qualifying for the very first time, but we do have a little bit of experience. 5 of those teams, and 2 of them you're looking at tonight. As I mentioned at the top of this show, both of these teams faced off in the Final Four at Go Pass Arena, and it was an incredible matchup where CSO came on top. So I'm sure Slovan Bratislava will be looking for a little bit of payback. Unfortunately, they have their hands full as they're missing 2 of their starters, Rainier Thornton, along with bucket getter Shamil Stevenson. That is a huge miss. Stevenson averaging 19 points, 5 boards in 4 games in this ENBL season. But they do have a player on their team with some ENBL experience, Christian James. Played for Newcastle last year, so he has championship experience, facing off against Voluntari last season. Voluntari returning with a lot of experience on their roster. MVP Mike Caffey, he was just terrific in that championship game last year. You also got the sniper Cody Justice, Solomon Young, littered with talent, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let's buckle in to the affair. 1 minute until we get down to business. Fans in the building making themselves comfortable on this warmish afternoon in Romania after a brutal winter. 2 months of extreme freezing cold, but I can tell you what, it's nice and cozy inside this building. Coaches delivering their final message to their team as we get ready to rock and roll. Again, drop in the comments. Let us know where you're representing from today. See how well versed we are in the universe here for the game that's brought us all together. Your starting lineup: CSO, Annam, Cathy, Barrow, Skinner, and Gerbay. For the road team: Christian James, Medford Jr., Pott, Pavelka, and Howard. The home team: CSO in the beautiful white, blue trim jersey, and Bratislava into beautiful dark jerseys, as CSO win the tip and will be handling the helm in the fourth quarter as we are under, but not just yet, some technical issues out the gate. Maybe it was one last fan there trying to get a bag of popcorn before they step up in the building. An accomplished coach you just saw on the screen right there, CSO's head man, Dan Lone, taking over, promoted from assistant coach this year, while Nadlic running the helm for Bratislava. Here's Cathy straight out the gate, ring it up, and CSO off to a dream start. Here's Bratislava looking to go inside early to the big fella. Great position there. Blocked by Barrow. Cathy, MVP of last year's gold medal game, and is fouled there by Pavelka. Mike Cathy, just an unbelievable talent. 17.6 assists in the ENBL this season to go along with the MVP in his locker. In his 10th season professionally out of Long Beach State, in his second spell with Voluntari. Well, Cathy picking up where he left off last year, 4-0. Pavelka. Here's Pott. A lot of action there. Medford, nowhere to go. Great defense by CSO. Leave a man on the right wing. Can't stick it. Cathy building up the stat sheet already. And here goes that man attacking the rim. Can't finish. Great defense by Voluntari. Here's James. Medford, that's what he does right there. Got his tap shoes on, but can't finish the play. Here's Mike Cathy. Great defense there. Terrific fundamental footwork by the Bratislava defender. You see it right there, shoulder square, getting right in front. And if you look in a textbook for what a charge is, you will see a picture-perfect example right there. Mike Cathy drawing his first foul of the evening. Turnover by Bratislava, and right now is a little bit of nerves out the gate, just a bit clunky. And this is not a team you want to be chasing from behind, a team that's been there and done that and been to the promised land. Well, here's Cathy, driving kick. Annam steps back, corner, got it. Voluntari 6-0 out the gate. And how big of a miss will Thornton and Stevenson be here for Bratislava? Right now, offensively, looking a little bit challenged as Howard is too strong on that affair. And that's just too easy. CSO Voluntari, like clockwork, forces Coach Naglic to call his first time out of the afternoon. And what a start by Voluntari. Coming into a game as a coach. Let's listen in.
You take the ball, make him rest a little, okay? Let's play two. Let's play two, okay? Hey, this is energy.
Welcome back to the European Northern Basketball League playoff round 1. As CSO Voluntari, the 3rd seed, straight out the gate, firing on all cylinders, 8-0 on the road team, Bratislava. Coach Naglic calls for time to just settle the troops. We were able to listen into the huddle there. You heard a lot of voices. Let's see if they're able to settle down. And that's the way to get yourself on the board. Stefan Pott with the nice left lay. Caffey already 4 points to his name. Has space. Rims out. Sabo gobbles it up. Here's Bratislava. Stolen. Great hands there. Medford nearly coughs it up. Big fella Barrow showing off the glove. 6:50 here in the first quarter. Here's Medford. Getting downhill, getting to his spot. Too strong. Caffey. Lee Skinner entering the game for the first time tonight, and they go right down to him. Loves to play out of this mid-post right here. Does a great job of passing, but also he can do a lot of that. We saw a lot of that in last year's Final Four. Skinner just terrific in that matchup. Here's Pott, nowhere to go. Bounce pass, and Sabo bringing the house down. Great timely cut by Sabo. 4 points in the paint, and here's Voluntari, and that's blocked by James. Christian James looking like King James on that defensive possession right there, showing off the vertical. Take another look at this. Sabo. That's what he does right there, playing above the rim. Great defensive effort by the former Newcastle Eagle, Christian James. Pott trying to get things going from behind the arc. Well, the road team is 0 for 3 so far. Here's Adams. Can't find the bottom of the net. Great hustle there by Voluntari. Bodies on the floor. Here's Bratislava off the business. Medford. Over to James, right wing. He can't find it. 0 for 4 now. And when you're on the road, the 3-ball is such an equalizer. We saw it in the first game last week with Valmira Glass, the struggle from behind the arc. That's why it's important to really lock in defensively, because defense travels, offense doesn't always hit the road, and so you just got to get enough stops until your offense comes to the party. UCLA screen, Caffey. James hitting the deck, and that is a blocking foul on Annam. His first. Bratislava doing a great job of just weathering the storm until some of these other suspects get their offense going. Pot, 4 points to his name. The rest of the team, Ofer. Gets inside with the left. And Jordan Watson off the bench, instant impact. Getting to that left. A great job of getting inside. Jordan Watson also with ENBL experience. Ironically suited up for Valmira Glass last season, where he averaged 13 points a game domestically. But he started this season this year in Serbia, where he averaged 16 points in 10 games before jetting off cross town. Well, they called that a goaltend there on Barrow. So only one free throw for Watson, who missed it. Not exactly sure what the call was there. Nevertheless, it'll be a baseline out of bounds for Bratislava. Watson bringing in immediate impact from the bench. Medford thought he was fouled on that play. Just looked like he lost the ball there. And Bratislava unable to capitalize. 10-6. We enter the first 5-minute frame in Romania. 2-3 zone from Bratislava. Skinner. Step back, Caffey. Wow, 3-ball. Great little tap up by Medford. How about Skinner? Kind of walling him off like a cornerback in American football, just so he can't get around to the ball. Very heads up veteran play there. 2-3 zone, you want to make sure you get the ball inside the arc, right in the middle, because that's what teams want right there. They want to lull you to take an outside three-pointers, but the vulnerable spots in the 2-3 zone are normally the short corners, and right there at the nail where the free throw line is located. Well, the bench mob for Voluntari making their introduction. Cody Justice, one of the best snipers in the competition, along with Solomon Young. Big time score this year. And Justice with the Kyrie finish and clisses it off the glass. Straight to business. Watson. Left alone. 3-ball and ring it up. Bratislava with their first 3-ball of the evening. But Solomon Young trying to answer back, can't. Here's Medford. Voluntari, a great job of getting back defensively. Going inside, back to the big fella. Running out of space. Here's James, rises over the defender and Christian James, and all of a sudden Bratislava with back-to-back 3 balls. And we are locked up at 12. Right back at you. Big shot there by Poljak. Momentum picking up here in Romania. Here's Sabo. He can stretch the floor, and it's a coming out party. They said it was nice and sunny in Romania, but it's raining threes as we've had 4 consecutive 3 balls. Locked up at 15. Skinner hemmed up in the corner, defended by James. Looking to go inside. We saw this matchup in the championship game last year. Caffey mixing it up with the trees. Ball screen action with Sullivan Young. Gets inside, drops it off. Young, yes! Sullivan Young with his first basket of the evening. Just a great seal right there over Sabo. Here's Watson. Can't get it this time. Flop warning called by the referee. That's that signal there. Second flop warning will end up in a technical foul. Medford will go and take a break as Meyercat will see his first action of the evening. Well, we mentioned it before, short bench by Bratislava as they're missing Stevenson and Thornton. So far responding, Cody Justice from Budapest. Both teams starting to heat up from behind the line. James hitting his last 3, and that's where he's so lethal. That little left hand lull you to sleep. I've seen that plenty of times last season in a Newcastle Eagles jersey, and all of a sudden he has 6. Bratislava slowly starting to get their confidence on the road, and defensively still sitting in this 2-3 zone. Currently not working. Great rebound. Here's Watson. Bratislava with the first opportunity for the lead of the evening, tipped away. Justice, defender in the air. Skip pass. You saw that foul right there by Meyercat, just getting his hands in the cookie jar there. Both teams in the bonus, so the next foul will see both teams, excuse me, duel it out from the free throw line. A stoppage in play here. Well, this allows us to catch our breath, because both teams, specifically Bratislava, slow out the gate early. Again, weathered the storm, getting a couple of stops until all of a sudden their offense came to the part. I think they're taking a look at Christian James' 3-ball there. Was the right toe on the line? Here's a better angle for you right there. From my vantage point, it looks as though that is a 2, but again, we'll leave that up to the referee crew to make that decision, because every possession, every point matters here in this one. I believe it was called a 2, not quite sure. I'm sure you'll see this play on tough calls during the week, a great segment that the ENBL puts on their website. Make sure you check it out. Take a couple of calls and break it down for us. Continuing to educate their fans. Justice. Oh, nice move there, looking like a Keem, but can't finish the play. And Bratislava can hold for the last and final shot of the quarter, where they can tie things up, or even better, take the lead. Watson trying to get to that left hand, scoops it up, can't finish. And that's how things will finish here in the first quarter. Nip and tuck. CSO Voluntari will head to the bench with a 2-point lead.
It's too early. The bed is so warm. My body feels sore. But excuses won't sculpt my future. It's time to rise. Strength isn't found in the comfort zone. It's built through the challenges, where you're reaching for your potential, pushing past limits and reaching new heights. I've found my strength. Now it's your turn. My Fitness, world-class gym and studios.
Well, welcome back inside of the Sala Gabriela Sabo Arena. Seats 1,100, named after the famous, the one and only Romania Olympic runner, Gabriela. I think that's levels we all aspire to get to. Having a building named after you. How about that as we get the second quarter underway here in the sports hall? Justice. Again, a 2-3 zone causing some issues there in the second quarter, but Voluntari forced to take threes, although Bratislava have gone back to man-to-man defense. Loose ball foul there on Jordan Watson. Baseline out of bounds for the home team. That will be Watson's first foul. Well, let's just clean up some things. That was called a 3 by Christian James that they went to go review a little bit early, as he leads all scores with 6 points. Another off-ball foul by Bratislava as they go back to a 2-3 zone, mixing things up here tonight with the shorthanded roster. Off the mark. Two for 9 from downtown for Voluntari. Here's Bratislava. Skips it, corner, pot. Chefing it up from the left corner, and Bratislava with their first lead of the evening. Drag swing action leaves Cody Justice wide open, and Bratislava dodging a bullet, but Solomon Young cleaning up the dirty dishes inside. Voluntari regains the lead. Pushing foul. by Young. His first. Here's Pot trying to muscle himself through, runs into the wall of justice. Justice with the mid-range midi. Jordan Watson. Just a little bit too much contact, looking like an NFL fullback there. Referees all on top of it, and that will be his second foul, which will see him head to the bench. Here's the veteran, Jordan Watson, into Solomon Young, and he finishes, and all of a sudden, you don't want to wake that big fella up. Things locked back up at 24. Sabo sticks it. Sabo doing what he does best. Coming off the bench, bringing that energy, hitting timely threes, 43% on the season, and Voluntari calls for time.
Go your bachelor! This is the game! Look, in the state, zone. Let's go regular way motion zone. In the state man-to-man, continue 5 down. You want 5 down or 44? 5 down. Okay? Let's 44. If they are man-to-man, 44 side. Look, let's go. Come on. 1, 2, 3.
Well, you have access inside the huddle all evening long, thanks to our production team and Coach Dan Lone providing the urgency for the home team, probably because defensively they've given up 7 of 12 from downtown. And how will the home team respond? Well, you already see a little bit more energy in this set as they look to go right back in this box set to Young. Back-to-back buckets, attacking Sabo. Can't finish this time. Ball tipped up. Bratislava with the stop. Great ball movement. Over the top, great big-time play there as Howard gets his first bucket of the evening. Bratislava with their biggest lead of the game, 5 points. Over the top. And Barrow met by a couple of bodies there, and that will be yeah, you see Howard right there just coming from the backside. And that will be 4 team fouls on Bratislava. So for the final 7 minutes, Voluntari will be shooting free throws. Let's see if they look to go inside, and right away, borrow and count the bucket. This is where you gotta really start muscling outside and put onus on the Bratislava's defense. Barrow only 59% from the free throw line this season, averaging 7 points, 4 rebounds a game in the ENBL. 360 out that time. 26-29. Bratislava with the advantage. Medford over the top, and that's a great alley-oop to Howard, who can't finishes it. I'm sure he would like to have that one back. Here's Caffey. Voluntari going small in their backcourt as Young trying to go with the jump hook, and look who it is, Barrow. Off-ball foul. He will go take a seat. Christian James returns, along with Pavelka. Barrow, veteran, 11 seasons as a professional, playing in the Germany BBL last year, making his way over to Romania. Well, that attempt looked beautiful. Nice arc, trajectory on the ball. 1 for 2 from the line from this afternoon. And another offensive rebound by Voluntari, who's starting to muscle up inside as Young is starting to warm up. Things locked back in. Here's Medford. So far offensively, it's been Sabo with 8, Watson with 5, along with Pott, and Christian James with 6. Medford yet to get going. Nice move there. Beautiful little spin-off by Pott, who was fouled in the act of shooting. Barrow just a little bit too aggressive on the body there. Stefan Pott in his 13th season out of Antwerp. His first game for Bratislava. 80% free throw shooter. The veteran out of Serbia. Crowd getting into it. 2-point deficit by the home team. Sticking it. Wet ball from beyond the arc as Voluntari regains the lead, going inside the James, tipped away, saved up. Barrow retains it. Jordan going inside. Jordan 2 feet in the paint. Young can't knock it down. Sullivan Young takes a seat. 8 points to his name this evening. Here's Medford looking to get going. Skip pass over the top. James, what a pass. Big fella. Should have probably went with the left hand there. Instead, turns into the defense and smokes the lay. Voluntari looking to build. Watson going inside to Skinner. Already 2 points from the post earlier. Gets the defender in the air, gets his own rebound, skips it out, 3-ball, corner pocket, rims out. Another offensive rebound from Voluntari, their 10th. Nice pass. And Annam taking advantage of the second and third opportunity, and Coach Naglich pausing for time, and we can anticipate what that huddle conversation will be about.
Big problem, rebound, box out, hey! What's on him? Down out. Hey! Aktivuj se, moraš to uzeti, moraš to. Lejap, 1-1 do koša. Ajde! One keeper, guys, rebound, hey! Ajmo control this, jebo, ajde!
The coaching battle again, getting inside that huddle. Last time out, it was Coach Lone letting his guys hear it, and they came out and responded here. How will Bratislava respond after Coach Naglich, silver medalist in 1992 against the one and only Dream Team? What an accolade. Back to business on the court. Stefan Pott looking to go out, gets his pockets picked. Here's Annam getting inside to the left like Beyonce. Involuntary on a run. And again, they cough it up. Looking to match their biggest lead of the evening. 8, Skinner. This time going to the opposite block, step through, and he's fouled. And this is the issue with those early fouls. 6 minutes and 53 seconds. Bratislava have their 4th team foul, and you can see how their interior defense is softening up. Right now, Pavelka with 3, Howard with 2, Watson with 2, and Barrow will go to the line for 2. 50% tonight, 2 for 4. Voluntari beginning to squeeze the vice grips here in the second quarter. And Barrow, 59%, will take both of those as they match their biggest lead of the evening. 3:39 here in the second quarter. The road team in desperate need of a response. Voluntari currently on a 10-0 run. And there she is, Medford with his first basket of the evening. And sometimes as a scorer, that's all you need is just to see that first ball go through the hoop. Caffey says, take that from the left wing. Mike Caffey, double figures. Medford off the drag screen. Pott. This time can't knock it down. Annam. So lethal in transition. Caffey. Patiently getting Voluntari organized. Back inside to Skinner. Going back to the opposite block. Met against James, and James with that big frame, just manhandles, and Medford all of a sudden with back-to-back buckets. Christian James isn't a small basketball player, so it's not going to be easy trying to post him up, and Skinner just a little bit too ambitious there as he runs over Medford, and he has back-to-back turnovers. Stefan Pott will go take a seat. Here's Medford. James, 6 points on the evening. Looking to take matters into his own hands. Wild finish there. Caffey rejects the screen, gets inside, drop off. Skinner, top of the key, no hand up, man down, sticking it. Skinner is a 57% three-point shooter. I'm not sure you want to just let him shoot. Medford answering back. Timeout here. 45-37 Voluntari with the 8-point lead.
If they play zones, we go hard. But Mike, Zach, Pete, Soto, do those like this. Pass, hand off, and then kick. If they play zone. Press break. If they are in man-to-man, onside. Still one foul to keep up. Go. 1, 2, 3.
Coach Long giving instructions there, recognizing that Bratislava is mixing up their defensive coverages, so he's preparing his team offensively for man-to-man or 2-3 zone. Let's see how they respond. Here's Anna. Middle third. Looking to go to work. Getting to his left. Loses it. James nearly steals it. Shot clock still winding down at 3. Caffey, big shot maker. And that will be a shot clock violation. Great defense there by Bratislava. Final 58 seconds. You just want to, about 2 more defensive possessions. You want to get out of here closing out the half, getting stops, hopefully looking to add on offensively. Here's Medford, who's starting to get the hot hand. Rolls out. Here's Caffey. Sideline ball screen action with Young. He nearly uses it. 10 on the clock. Caffey with the step. Taking the contact. Nothing called. Here's Watson. Getting inside. Foul called. You see Gerbe looking to take a charge there, but not quite in position. 16 on the clock, so there is a 9-point differential on the shot clock. Medford can't finish it this time. Drops it in, stolen. Plenty of time on the clock. Here's Caffey stepping through. foul called on the pass, but that will result in 2 free throws as now both teams are in the bonus. How about the speed of Mike Caffey? Vroom. Still looking young and fresh, the veteran in year 10. Mike Caffey pushing the lead to double figures. Back to 10. Bratislava can hold for 1. Watson maybe a little bit too early. Nothing called there. Skinner from half court. And that's how the half will wrap up with Voluntari hanging on to a 10-point lead. And Coach Naglic disgusted with the no call there. What a response from the home team. After seeing themselves go down, after starting off early, able to respond. And we will break, not before showing you a couple of highlights from the first half. And it was Mike Caffey just pulling the 1s and 2s in that quarter. 3 assists to his name. Bratislava finally able to wake up from beyond the arc where they're 7 for 15, but missing their last 3 to end the half. Well, a couple of adjustments on the card for the road team if they're going to see themselves advance to the next round, where again the winner will take on Tindastal out of Iceland versus Riga Zeli. That game tomorrow night, 8:15 local time. Well, we will pause for time. Make sure you come back and join us after this short break. Welcome back inside to the Sala Gabriela Sabo Sports Hall, where the champs, CSO Voluntari, edging out Slovan Bratislava 47-37. And it's the offensive rebounds that Bratislava must address, because 24 rebounds by Voluntari, 10 of those on the offensive end, which has resulted into 14 second chance points. Meanwhile, on the other side, Bratislava, 0 second chance points, and that is the difference right there. Bench really stepping up, 20 points off the bench for Bratislava, but missing the 6'6" frame of Raynar Thornton and Shamil Stevenson. Really a huge miss for the road team. You're basically missing 27 points and 10 rebounds a game in this competition. So that's when you need other guys to step up. And the adjustments for Bratislava in the second half is they're going to have to toughen up inside the paint, because that is the difference. They're out shooting Voluntari. Bratislava 7 for 15 from downtown, and CSO 1 less 3, but they're 6 for 18. So not a great percentage, but when you're able to get those second chance opportunities, that's when it's costly. .756 local time. Voluntari, in case you just joined us, 7-1 in the pool 1, finishing 3rd out of 27 teams. And they are the team that every team is destined to be. Gold medal winners last year, edging out the Newcastle Eagles in an incredible Final Four at the Go Pass Arena that ironically Bratislava hosted last year. Other matchups on the menu tonight. Donar Groningen hosting BK Opava in an 8-9 matchup. Also, Manchester Basketball hosting Dubrava Zagreb in a 5-12 matchup. Make sure you subscribe to the ENBL YouTube page. This is where you will see all of the ENBL playoff drama. Got another triple header on deck for you tomorrow night, as Heracles BC host Tal Tech Alexia, the number 2 seed, hosting the 15th seed. Santanix NBC hosting BK Olomouco, the number 1 seed hosting the 16th seed. And then finally a 6-11 matchup game I will be covering over in Iceland, Tindastal versus Riga Zeli. 2 minutes remaining until we get back to the action. Quick opportunity for you to go get one last snack before joining us. Big time second half coming up as we hear the final whistle. Teams heading back to hear coach's final message. Round one is quite easy. Win or go home. No second chances. No redos, no reruns. Cutthroat here in the NBL playoffs. However, if you're fortunate enough to make it to the next round, that is a home and away. That will be taken care of quite quickly, as those games will happen March 17th through April 12th. So a little bit of time to get it done. But then the Final Four, April 21st to the 23rd. And historically, one of the four teams that advances are usually the host. Well, a lineup change for Bratislava as Sabo will get the start as we get back to business. Here's Pop. Coming off a Sabo screen. Here's Medford. Creates the mismatch, side steps. Not sure that is the possession that was drawn up in the locker room. But here's Caffey. Been pulling the ones and twos all evening. Boomerang action. Going inside, back to the big fella where Voluntari was able to eat so well in the first half. Big fella Barrow just taking that take foul. And those are fouls that I'm not too sure that's necessary. Bratislava wasn't looking like they were in attack mode. So in that circumstance, you just want to get back and contain, because as we saw in the second quarter, those fouls add up and they become costly, and you don't want to give points away. Medford, left corner. Can't finish. Howard just unable to get himself going here tonight. 1 for 5. Step back, Annam. Great rebound by Barrow. Another opportunity left wide open, and 24 hours like McDonald's as Voluntari sticking it. Gerbe. Somehow Bratislava unable to, I was going to say avoid a turnover, but that had a turnover written all over it as Medford penetrating with no real outlets, and Voluntari's defense tightening up. Caffey with a highway to heaven to the basket, met by no defender, but Medford looking to go to the instant replay. Is trying to say that Caffey last touched it. And that won't be necessary because the referee overturns the call, and it will be Bratislava's ball. And Slovan just slow out the gate. Exactly how they started this game. Took a little while for them to get their offense going, but you got 17 minutes to get things going. Sabo already won in the first half, and out the gate, Slovan 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. Voluntari winning this quarter 3-0. Annan. Guarded by Pot, nowhere to go. Great defense, ball on the floor. Sabo coming up with it. It will be a jump ball, and we will stay here. Slovan got the ball out of the half, so possession arrow headed to the home team. And Pot just with a chicken wing there to Annam. But this is the playoffs, baby. Typically a little bit more physical than the regular season. Caffey. Too strong. Another offensive rebound. Number 12 for Voluntari going inside. Barrow, great seal. Medford. No other options there. Mismatch city. And the technical foul on Coach Nadglitch as things beginning to unravel for the road team. Medford in a little bit of a pickle. That's his third personal foul, along with Pavelka. Again, that forced Slovan to be passive defensively there in the second quarter due to foul trouble. And Barrow. Let me borrow that jumper because right now he's not looking like a 59% three-point shooter, free throw shooter, excuse me. 5 for 7 on the evening as he'll take a well-deserved rest. Here's James over to Pot. Pot getting his first action for Bratislava this year. The Serbian. James, top of the key, steps back. Tipped up, nice finish. Pavelka giving Bratislava its first basket here in the third. Caffey loves going left. Skinner. You might want to put a hand up on Lee Skinner. If you haven't read the scouting report, he's shooting 57% in this competition. And here's Voluntari looking to go up by a dub. Skinner looking to go 3 for 3, and Lee Skinner cooking from beyond the arc, hotter than fish grease, and Coach Nadglitch will call for time as Voluntari has their biggest lead of the evening. 3 words written on the top of that scouting report for Lee Skinner. welcome back, and the champs are here. CS Voluntari planting their flag into this one. Starting to slowly run away as they building on a 20-point lead, 12-2 this quarter. Slovan looking for a response. There's Watson getting in the teeth of the defense. James can't finish and block. Well, Young nearly getting me out my seat, but it is a foul called. And that will send Pavelka to the free throw line. Pavelka at 53% this season splits the difference. And Voluntari looking for their biggest lead as Bratislava back to a 2-3 zone, and right there, and that is just too easy. As Gerbe says, look what I found. Watson nearly turns it over, but it was deflected, and it'll be a baseline out of bounds. Seven on the clock. Slovan has to make something happen, and great defense there by Annam. Consistently doing the little things under the radar, and Young blocked by Pavelka. Great defense. Take foul there by Lee Skinner. Voluntari's first of the half. And that will be a turnover. Bratislava just unraveling under the pressure of the playoffs. Well, we have an official review here. Let's just see, and it looked like it will stay here. It looked like it was off Watson's right middle finger there. You see the replay there. It doesn't look as though it touched Christian James. Let's see this angle here. Yeah, and that is clearly off Watson, so we will stay here. That is the great thing about the resource here in the ENBL, is having the opportunity to go just make sure. We understand of how important every possession is this time of year. Let's see what the referees say about this here. And just like I figured, pretty easy call here by the referee. We'll stay here. Watson snatched back, rising over the defender, and he can't finish, and the Slovan Bratislava just coming out of halftime with ice bags over the rim. Meanwhile, Cody Justice left alone and he can't finish. Watson trying to get around the sea of defenders, and there it is. That's more like it. Meyerchak. Much needed bucket by Bratislava. And you just want to stay in here, keep chipping away, see if you can get it within single figures heading into the fourth quarter. But Lee Skinner, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best three-point shooters in the game, saying not so fast. Pavelka battling inside with Young. Young standing his own, holding down the fort. Here comes Voluntari. Annam steps around and Sabo says, get that out of here, but Caffey picks up the loose change. Everything going for the home team's way. Pocket pass, Pavelka this time finishes it. Skinner just creating that gravity of defenders, which ultimately leaves Annam open in the corner. Stolen. Caffey. No numbers. Foul called. 24-point lead here for the champs. And Caffey. And I'm sure Annam would love to have that one back. 14 points to his name this evening. Timeout here in Romania.
By the four-man, still one with the five?
He starts on 5 now. He will be on 4. They change a little bit. No, but few open in case they change. In defense, how many fouls we got? Let's finish everything once. Before the bonus, okay? Fight. Always on a mismatch, or foul, or baseline trap. Let's go. Fight.
Bratislava in all kind of trouble here in Romania, as Sakar Annam will head to the free throw line for 2 gimmies, 84% in the ENBL season. 6-year pro out of Marquette, has played in Italy, Germany, but this year for Voluntari having a career season. Lead up to 26. (24-8) in this quarter. And the vice grips just really being squeezed out of the offense of Bratislava. Off-ball foul here. Referee crew talking it over. Not exactly sure. He's holding up number 7. I don't see a number 7 on the floor for Voluntari. Well, just some technical issues we're looking to get cleaned up. I assume they meant 7 seconds on the shot clock. Medford, pockets picked, nearly. Shot clock, gotta be. Yeah, the shot clock reset by mistake, but as Medford just not his night. 2 points, 1 for 7 to go along with the turnover. And everything clicking for Voluntari, rocking and rolling out to a 28-point lead. And the issues continue for Bratislava's offense. And I believe Voluntari, after this one, will have the entire attention of the ENBL. That last year was not a fluke. The year before that, they went to the championship game, losing the back end, and that's more like it for Medford. And last year, picking themselves up, couple of roster changes, getting back to the big show, but this time taking care of business. Skip pass, Cody Justice, might as well put 3 points on the board just like that. Can't leave that fella open. Watson has to do a better job of fighting around that weak side screen. Foul called. Howard, if it was in the act of shooting, will get 2. Again, referees discussing it. Easy call there by Jordan Watson. And that was in the act of shooting. Are the referees? They are headed to the monitor to go and review this. Let's see what the call is. Are they looking for an intentional call? Because the left hand of Watson did wrap around the waist, but it did look like he was going for the ball with the right hand. But if it is going off the first contact, that would be intentional. Just a common foul called, so Robert Howard would head to the free throw line for 2 shots. Only 2 points this evening. The American out of Illinois. Only 1 game played with Bratislava this season. in the ENBL, 8 points, 5 rebounds in 18 minutes. Only 3 games played domestically, but played at Antwerp before. And again, that ice bucket that I talked about, it still remains there as Howard misses both, but it is a ball was last touched by Voluntari. I believe that's another official review. We've had quite a few this evening. That might be number 5 or 6, which is pretty unusual. They've been making the decisions pretty quickly, but it has slowed up the rhythm here in the third quarter. I mean, that's really tough to tell from my angle. Let's see here. Slowing it down frame by frame. It looks as though it's off the Voluntari hand, but I mean, that's very impossible to tell. I think it will be very difficult for them to overturn the original call, which the ball was awarded to the road team. Decision made, and we will stay here. Baseline out of bounds. Fresh clock for Slovan. Medford skipped out. Howard. Christian James had the hot hand early in this one and able to get his first basket since the first quarter. Watson. I mean, incredible player movement from Voluntari. A lot happening that ends up in a sidestep, and somehow, some way, Jordan Watson with the feathery touch from beyond the arc and everything rolling for the home team. Voluntari making it look easy after starting out cold from beyond the arc. All of a sudden, that 13 of 28. Incredible percentage. Met for 5 points. 1 for 3 from the free throw line. 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. And just a night to forget for the very talented guard out of Baylor. Watson, nice little cross there. Wow, and that is an intentional foul. Easy call by the referee. Take another look here. Meyerchak getting shook out of his boots and no other choice but just grab for his life. Ultimately, that will be a foul. The veteran, Jordan Watson, still showing he got it at the tender age of 40. dual citizenship as he is now Romanian and represents for the national team. Can't capitalize on that one. Well, Voluntari, 5 seconds to go here. Inside Barrow. And Voluntari turns it over. Here's Medford, 3 on the clock, showing off that speed, and Medford can't finish. And that's how things will end. When it rains, it pours. And it is pouring on Bratislava's offense as they were only able to generate 14 points in that quarter. And the home team, Voluntari, up 29. Third quarter highlights, and it just everything working for Voluntari, getting it done on both sides of the ball, offense, defense, everything just clicking. Well, the fourth and final frame here from the Sala Gabriela Sabo Sports Hall. Immediate foul from the veteran. That will be called on Watson. Here's James. Most of his work done from beyond the arc, but he can't do that. Christian James is a bucket who can heat up quick, and we've seen crazier things happen before. But Cody Justice says, hold on, pump the brakes. I got this. As he hits back-to-back triples. Just so many weapons on his Voluntari team, and wild finish there as Pot was looking to pass, got himself caught up in the air, and was just forced with the errant attempt. Well, Voluntari with a 30 ball. Looking to add to it. Watson, Justice, deep outside, and there goes that man, Barrow, again. Just keeping things tidy inside the paint. If you're Bratislava, you just want to get out of here with some respect on your name. Make sure you finish this thing out with pride because CSO is in a process of trying to embarrass you. Sabo already hit one there from earlier and just running out of space. And this defense, anytime the ball is put on the floor, there is help side meeting the offensive player with width, with hands, and containing. James. Pavelka losing the handle. 32-point lead for Voluntari. As they pretty much booked a ticket to the next round unless something catastrophic happens, as Polyek unable to finish Sabo, and that will be called on the floor. Here's James. Looking inside, nowhere to go, just bodies and defenders littered everywhere. And again, just nowhere to go for Slovan. The defense has been on point for Voluntari, specifically here in the second half. Going back inside, big fella Barrow, foul. Barrow having a nice all-around game, 11 points, 6 rebounds. And 5 for 8 from the free throw line. .651 remaining in this first round affair. CSO Voluntari hosting Slovan Bratislava as Barrow misses both. Let's get past the Watson. He can't finish, overcooks it. Barrow gobbling it up. No numbers here. Watson wisely looking to slow it down. Double cross, putting the defender in the blender. Comes up for air. Here's James. Bounce pass. And Sabo flushes it. Great hands there by James. A little bit too aggressive, got on the arm of Barrow, and he will head to the line for 2. Well, the kids making their way as coach begins to slowly empty that bench. Basilio getting in on some action. Drops it in. Pavelka just making that a little bit more difficult than what he needed to. Similar to earlier in this game where he had a layup with the left hand, decided to spin back around to his right. $29 points is the deficit. For Bratislava. It's Watson. And again, Young this time getting the hands on it, keeps it alive. Stolen 3-on-1 opportunity, and here's Kristen James with this easiest basket of the evening. And Coach has seen enough, as he doesn't want any momentum to creep in. Coach Lone wanting to talk things over. Let's see if we can listen in. Coach Dan Long taking no chances. Even with the 27-point lead. He knows how important, although he's going deep into his bench, and how you finish this thing is so important, and the momentum can take you to the next round. Justice loses it. Here's Watson. Foul called as Christian James patiently getting the defender in the air. He will head to the line. Oh, excuse me. Not exactly sure what was called there, but there's no surprise as everything has gone Voluntari's way tonight. Young looking to get busy. James, and that will be 2 shots, as that is the second flop warning on Bratislava, and James just going down a little bit too easy. Referees all over top of it. That will be James' second personal foul. Flop warning resulting in 1 free throw in the ball. Lead back up to 28. Jordan Watson, the veteran. Baseline out of bounds. Young. James scoops it away. What a pass. Nice pass to Howard. Watson dropping dimes. Watson back in the passing lane, getting his easy 2 buckets of the night. CSO just taking their foot off the gas ever so slightly. And probably the best stretch we've seen this half from Bratislava. Young looking to muscle himself inside, and Christian James looking for an offensive foul, and he might have a fan. You see Young just kind of putting his head down and trying to clear him out, but call going against James. Justice from way downtown. Cody Justice all the way from Arizona State, lining them up. Here's Watson. This time, Young getting called for the offensive foul. Final 3:15 here in this first round affair, as Voluntari has pretty much booked their ticket to the next round. Bratislava will finish the season 4-5. And that pretty much sums up the evening for the visitors. And that might be a intentional foul, as it looked as though Watson was grabbed around the waist. Let's see. That is definitely an intentional foul. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this clipped up and being on tough calls this week, as Watson clearly grabbed the waist of his counterpart, Jordan Watson. Jordan Watson impacting things off the bench. 8 points at the tender age of 40. What a career he's had. 15 seasons out of Central Michigan. Skip pass over to James. Dribbles, cross, takes the contact, hangs. What a finish by Christian James. Big boy bucket. Cody Justice, hand down, man down, as Cody Justice from the parking lot says take that, as he provides the dagger for the visiting team. Wow. Cody Justice with so much range, with the retreat dribble of the outstretched hand of the defender, and says, take that. $28 points as we enter the final 2 minutes. Three ball, corner pocket, stick it. CS Voluntari booking their ticket to the next round. just chefing things up with the white coat and spoon as they have been cooking this second half. One point off the century mark as they have sent a message in the ENBL telling all participants last year it wasn't no fluke. Christian James leading all scores for Slovan. Getting it done efficiently as well as he splits the difference from the free throw line. And here's an opportunity. Cody Justice, and this place probably would have erupted had he made that. Watson. Howard looking to get a little bit closer, nowhere to go. And Zijic, back-to-back buckets. And that's what you like. There's no such thing as mop minutes. All of these minutes matter regardless of when you get in. And Zijic has just come in and play with effort despite the score. That's the definition of a professional. Final minute here in Romania. Watson causing chaos as Justice turns it over. And Voluntari will be locked into tomorrow night's matchup between Tindastal and Rigazelli. And there he goes again, Zijic. This time Watson left alone, and the woes continue. Only question to be answered is, will they get 100? Young fella. Look like they'll play it. Cody Justice looking to put the finishing touches on things, and Howard slamming it home. And that will do it here in Romania as the home team, CSO Voluntari, booking their ticket to the quarterfinals. Opponent to be determined tomorrow night. Make sure you come back to the ENBL YouTube channel to see who they will be matched up against. Meanwhile, there's more playoff basketball action available for you. Just head over to the ENBL YouTube page, and while you're at it, just click that subscribe button so you don't miss any playoff action. As I'm telling you, you are in store for one heck of a ride. But that will conclude things here in Slovakia. 99-74. It was a battle, and to the third quarter was the difference for CSO Voluntari. Alex Ola, service is not required there, the 7-footer. And we even got time to shift over to being a daddy, but CSO Voluntari hopefully looking to make this a long journey. Showing their appreciation to the crowd again. 99-74. That will wrap things up here in Romania. Make sure you join the other two live games on YouTube. Come back and join us tomorrow for a triple header. Meanwhile, I'm your commentator, Drew Lasker. I'll be with you all playoff long, as early as tomorrow night. Come back and join us. Good night.
Ice in the veins, ice, 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 ice in the veins. ENBLeague. Ice in the veins, ice in the veins, ice, 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 ice in the veins. ENBLeague.
It's too early. The bed is so warm. My body feels sore. But excuses won't sculpt my future. It's time to rise. Strength isn't found in the comfort zone. It's built through the challenges, where you're reaching for your potential, pushing past limits and reaching new heights. I've found my strength. Now it's your turn. My Fitness, world-class gym and studios.